Feeling lost? You know that pit in your stomach you get when you're asking yourself, am I moving in the right direction? Today we're looking at the journey portion of this feeling lost. So let's hop into it. Roll it. Feeling lost. In yesterday's video, we were talking about how feeling lost stems out into two different areas, the journey portion and the destination. In this video, we're going to cover the journey portion as we get into the destination in tomorrow's video. If this is your first time here or you didn't watch yesterday's video, I'll link it below and up top. Do take a look and try out the task that we put into play so that you can start seeing how that mindset can change on a daily basis. And on that note, let's look at the two areas. Without getting into a lot of detail, the destination is that place we are heading towards to. It is that goal we've set out for ourselves, that mission and purpose, that idea of what we are and what we want to achieve. It is all there. This could be anything from business, startups, careers, and even relationships. As we set into stone what we want to do and we have this big vision of that idea, we start moving towards it, and this is the journey. The journey is all the small little goals that we have to do each and every day in order to reach that that spot that we want so bad. As the journey progresses, the narrative that we've created at the beginning of the journey will change without a doubt each and every day, based on the series of experiences that we are having. Does the destination change? Sometimes it does, and that's why people feel lost, because of the journey changing. The end result will definitely change. So how does it work? Well, in either case, you're gonna have positive or negative experiences each and every day. The narrative you originally set out with was very simple. You're gonna do this, and then you're gonna do this, and you're gonna do this, and eventually you'll get to where you need to go. You plan it all out. Why do I say this? Because anything that we try to do that's incredibly big for us, something that is just really out there that we're trying to achieve, well, nothing's ever gone according to plan. There's always been some changes, even small ones. And if there are people who have achieved everything to spec, then that's awesome. I'd love to hear some comments below. Don't forget to write down the idea as well and tell us how big it was. So how does it look? The narrative is very simple. You start a new destination you're gonna go towards. The journey begins by you planning, and you set out all these small goals each and every day. As you work towards the goals, a positive or negative will occur each and every day. If you see a whole bunch of positive happening and things are moving, well, your narrative becomes more positive than it originally started. Change has to occur in that narrative no matter what. As more and more positives occur, this timeline starts to change, things start moving, new people start coming in, they're seeing the vibe, everything's going swell, and yes, everything will change, including that final destination, because who knows, somebody might pop up out of nowhere and give you a new idea to tag on to that big idea, and now you have a final destination that's changed in total. We'll get into that tomorrow. Now, if everything is negative, things start to go the opposite. You're no longer a superhero, but more of that failure mentality kicks in, and now you're trying to swim in mud, in an emotional state that is, where you're trying to climb back up into that positivity. As more and more things occur that are negative, your narrative starts to change from that what was possible into, well, I don't know if it's possible, to this is impossible, I'm gonna go bankrupt, I have no money, what am I gonna do? Is this really worth it? Is this what I needed right now? Am I doing this right? Who can I ask for help? And the questions start piling up in your mind, and it's just a crazy time. I think if anybody's been there, knows what I'm talking about. Mindset plays a key role here. It's being able to say, where am I at in my plan? What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? Am I going to make any changes? Emotion has to be put aside, or else the narrative continues to play the winning role in whatever story you're writing. This negative narrative has to be turned into a positive, or else failure will occur. This is as simple as understanding the concept behind what is happening. What is truly happening is that you have these three different pieces surrounding you that are causing the effect on your mentality. Your mindset, the mentality you have, is really affected by your environment. Your environment has people, places, and things. The more positive people you have that are trying to be supportive and helpful in your journey, well, those will assist you in a positive manner in comparison to having that person that keeps putting you down that you can't turn off. Once you have too many people putting you down all the time, well, you should just close up shop if you can't get some thick skin and let it just shrug it off and keep moving. We usually see this with people that are in a state of, that mentality of my family or my friends and what are they gonna think of me? And instead of going and reaching out to people that are truly supportive and know the industry, they're focused on people that don't really know what they're doing, or what you're doing rather, and they're trying to express their opinion in it and then giving off negative affirmations on what is occurring, causing your narrative to change even further. I've dealt with this, and I think every other entrepreneur has dealt with it. And until you start rolling and seeing positive come in, especially in terms of progress or money, you don't really get that opportunity to say no to that negativity. It's kind of like it keeps coming in and it's really hard. So the journey will change, the narrative will change. This changes on a daily basis. The question is, how do we stop this? My 2 cents, and I want to hear more comments below, is what I always kind of preach. Where is your integrity? Your integrity will fuel the positive or the negative. This is very simple to write down what your original narrative was, what is the talk in your head, and ask yourself, am I being true to myself? Am I where I should be in my mindset, or have I allowed negativity to enter? So how do we deal with this? How do we work around this? If we're looking at it from a perspective of progress or money, well, it's very simple. What is causing us not to see progress and what's causing us not to see money? When our idea is happening, what is actually occurring? Now you may ask, hey Nico, how does this apply to relationships? I'll get to that in a sec. What we want to do is really look at it from a perspective of what are the small things that are occurring that we are not good at that are causing us to be delayed. If you're starting a business and web development and all that stuff is not good on you, then you gotta find somebody to replace that. Stop wasting the time. Focus on what you're good at and then go find somebody to partner with or spend money on in order to bring them into the environment that you're creating, so that you can grow what you need to grow. Each day you're gonna have your positives and negatives come in, and the person that comes in will help you work on those negative things and propel them up. How does this look in a real life example? I had somebody I was working with, and they're incredibly smart. They're just this engineer that, awesome. And really, they were a nerd. They couldn't communicate to the outside world. They just knew how to develop awesome plugins and products, and it was amazing to watch and talk to them and see how they're doing. It's just amazing. Their problem was one little minute thing because of their communicational skills. However, everybody in their family, their friends, the business world, they made him feel like he was worthless and could never achieve anything. So this was the point where he almost broke and he was ready to quit. He came upon my videos, he messaged me, and we had a quick conversation. And from that, I did a couple coaching sessions with him. And once his ego got out of the way, he went and hired a sales guy, and bada bing, bada boom, he was making money and moving forward. He fixed his money issue. The progress came along with the money because all of a sudden he could invest more into the progress. The reality is that his whole narrative had changed from this incredibly smart person into this failure person because of one smidgen of the whole equation. The narrative changed, the mindset changed, the motivation changed, the end result changed. And now we're sitting there going, where is this journey heading? Let's just stop it, because we can't fix that one little thing. But once we fixed it, it didn't even go back to the original narrative. It went back to the next level of possibilities, because all of a sudden within a few short months he's got income, he's got money in his pocket, and he can hire more people to take care of more things that he needs taken care of in order to see himself succeed. And how does this look on relationships or careers? Well, it's the same thing. You're building relationships, and at the end of the day you have this goal, this idea of where you want to be with a relationship. Integrity plays a key factor in this, where you look at it and you say to yourself, what is it that I want? What are the characteristics I want? How do I want to be in a relationship? And you work towards finding that individual that will work with you in that relationship. The narrative that you're speaking to yourself on the growth of the relationship is in the same manner. If you're looking for that marriage material person, and marriage is your end goal up here, then that is your end goal. The journey is getting there. What are the things you're going to do in order to create that positive environment, to have that positive narrative be speaking each and every day in order to get to that spot and know that you're in a healthy relationship? And when things are going well, and there are kind of like, every relationship doesn't go steadily increase exponentially into awesomeness, right? After the honeymoon phase, it kind of drops and there's a building process. The question is, how long are you going to waste working on something if there's too much negativity? Or how much more time are you going to invest because things are working great? Is that narrative affecting you personally as a person? Trying to find the best person for yourself to have an incredible marriage, because that was your end goal. Two people work together in this scenario, so the other person has to understand where you're coming from. The integrity has to be sound. You can't go back on your word. You need to make sure that you follow the rules you set up in the relationship. That process of making sure it goes to where it has to go. We can't sit there and just lay back and not achieve the things we need to be achieving because we get emotionally caught up in whatever and fear takes over. And then all of a sudden, instead of having that happy, awesome relationship, we start getting into this, decrease in positive output, and all of a sudden we start falling and falling and falling to the point where there's no success ever coming our way. Make sure we look at the narrative each and every day and see where are we at. Look at all the negatives that are occurring to cause a negative narrative happening. Catch it really quick, address it really quick, find a solution for it, and then start seeing that positive narrative come back, and that final destination will be right there for the taking. My name is Nikos Rentas. This is mentorsapproach.com. Hit a like, hit a subscribe, and of course share this video with anybody who would find value in it. And don't forget, watch the rest of the videos in this series so we can get you moving in the right direction.
Snow again.